with us now, via the power of teams, we're joined by the lovely Hannah from Maria's Animal Shelter. A happy new year to you and the team over at Maria's. Last time we caught up with you, I think was back in November. You had Henry pay a visit. Let's have a look. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing? Have you recovered from Henry, by the way?
He did very well. We were very pleased to have him.
I can only apologise. I believe he was besotted with Bailey and the rest of the guinea pig gang.
He was, and you can tell him that I've positioned myself with Bailey behind me, especially for him.
Oh, he's not in the office today, is he?
Of all the days, he's not to be here.
You'll have to watch this back. Also, a big hello. Lovely to see you again. I thought it was... when I saw the name, I thought, I think that's who I interviewed. I think that's who I came down the farm to see. How is everything? How's everything going?
Yeah, we have been very, very busy, but we're all right.
Oh, that's what we like to hear. Busy as always. It can be good sometimes. It can be good. Tell us a little bit about Christmas. How was your Christmas at the shelter? Like, did you guys get up to anything special over there?
Well, we want to say a very special thank you to Nicola from who dropped in our stockings, and that was brilliant. The rabbits and the guinea pigs really loved those, but they were great. And other than that, we were just manically busy. We had increase in workload. We were down on volunteers and staff for various different reasons, including COVID. So yeah, we've been absolutely flat out. And the Christmas period was really difficult, but we just wanted to say a massive thank you to everybody who has brought us food, bedding, donations, and to Nicola at the Creature Feature Show.
Fantastic. Yes, I've seen all the stuff that Nicola's been doing throughout the last year, getting all the stockings ready. There was a lot of them. Yeah. Poor old Steph, every time I saw him, he's just like, yeah, we're doing more stockings. The look on his face was just like, yeah, I'm so done with this.
Did you make the nice list or the naughty list? That's the question.
For Nicola, yeah. I see, yeah. So what kind of stuff did you get in the stockings?
We got all sorts. We got loads of nice things to encourage natural behaviour in the animals and to keep them occupied, which was absolutely great. So our favourite thing that went down an absolute treat was some dried forage. So it was like herbs and dried plants and some flowers in there. And we sprinkled that all through the hay, and so everybody could root around and search for it. And they absolutely loved it. It was a really healthy, good treat. And it's a great one for small animals. So thank you.
Not gonna lie, I don't really think of healthy when it comes to Christmas, do you?
Never, but it's really thoughtful of Nicola, and I'm sure if she's not watching, we will pass those thanks on as well. Let's talk about adoption and the importance of every animal needs its forever home. What are the numbers looking like for you guys at the moment?
Well, we've got over 100 animals in with us at any one time. And at the moment, adoptions have actually quietened down. So we are looking for people who are looking for a family member to join them, to get in touch with us if you think a home. We have lots of rabbits and guinea pigs waiting to go out, and we've got lots of dagoos as well that we would love to find a home for. Some of our animals have been with us for 6 months plus, so we would really, really love to find them the right home. But yeah, it's a little bit quiet on that front, but our waiting list just keeps going up and up. We've got over 30 animals waiting to come into us. So yeah, it's just a bit of a balancing act, but if anybody would like to adopt from us, then just get in touch.
Is it typical for this time of year to end up needing more people to adopt? Do you normally get an influx this time of year?
We've seen ebbs and flows. Maria's seen sort of different patterns over the last few years. A lot of the time before COVID and perhaps before indoor living for smaller animals was as much of a thing as it is now. She would find that actually in the colder months, interest would drop off, and actually there are a lot of animals coming into her because people don't want to go outside and look after their animals in the cold weather, which of course they need looking after all year round, whatever the weather really. So she has seen that change. But yeah, generally we're a little bit slower and quieter than we would be normally at this time of year. But again, as I say, low on adoptions and huge on the waiting list of animals waiting to come in really. And we think it might be because we're growing as a charity, and our name is getting out there a little bit more. But yeah, so we want to push those adoptions now really.
Absolutely. And I think, you're in the right place for it. Hopefully anyone listening today, they'll get involved and please, forever homes. You touched on briefly there, obviously we're in these winter months now. We're all freezing. I know I've got my fluffy bedding on.
Mate, I'm getting cold as well. Yeah.
The fluffy duvets are out. How are the animals coping, obviously, in the winter season? Have they got all their extra bedding and whatnot?
Yeah, so we have to put in extra bedding for everybody, and hay is really important. So that gets put in daily and fluffed up. You can do that at home. Really important for them to have a huge, great big, deep layer of bedding that they can bury themselves into. We're lucky enough to have our heated room, which I'm currently sat in. But of course, over the winter, that puts all of our heating and electric bills up as well. So that's quite a big change for the shelter. But anybody who's ill or sick or under the weather comes in here for the extra warmth like that. But our outside rabbits actually, so the really important thing for the small animals is to keep them draft and damp free. So we've got tarpaulin over everybody's shelters. And then we've got a layer of insulation or neoprene we actually use, which is the material that wetsuits are made of. We've got that over the top just to keep everybody nice and snug. But yeah, the really important thing is actually temperature change for the small animals. So if you've got animals at home and they're inside, keep them inside. If they're outside, keep them outside. It's when you start chopping and changing between the two that it can cause a lot of problems and actually it could be fatal in some cases. So if you've got outside animals, unless it gets really, really cold and you're worried about them, you can bring them in, but you must keep them inside until the weather warms up again. Please don't pop them straight back out. When it warms up a little bit, it's not enough for them. That change is too much.
So I got a question actually just off the back of that. So people with cats that come in, spend a day and a half inside and then suddenly decide, actually, I want to go outside. Is that still okay for them?
Yeah, so that's a little bit different because they've got that permanent warm area that they can come back to. Going outside is their choice. So they can come in and go as they please. And when they get cold, they'll come back and they've got that warm place to be. The smaller animals, generally, if we put them outside, they can't come back again unless we bring them. So yeah, as long as the animal's got choice, that's a little bit different. But the small animals generally can't cope with a sudden temperature change, basically.
Oh, that's actually a really important and really interesting piece of advice there, because it's something you wouldn't sort of necessarily think about. I know from experience, we used to have a pet parrot.
Oh, right.
Quite random. And he, not so much temperature change, but environment and location. We moved him just from room to room. So he was once in the living room, then he went in the hallway and he started to pluck his feathers. And when we got advice, we were advised, actually, it's the change of scenery, change of environment that sort of stressed. They obviously get used to that. But you wouldn't think of that until you said it. So it's important.
I can imagine as well, because obviously I've been to see the rabbits in the enclosure. I can just see now them all covered over and they're in little dens. I wouldn't mind that, actually. Like a little den, that'd be quite nice.
Warm.
So what would be your top tips for keeping pets happy over winter?
So yeah, probably those 2 points that we've touched on, really. Loads of nice warm bedding and stick to hay and fluff it up so they've, their bedroom area is full. They can burrow in and make sure it doesn't get damp or drafty. So make sure you've got cover over their shelter if the weather is turning nasty. But yeah, keep them either indoors or outdoors. Don't chop and change. Even if you've got somebody inside and you think, oh, sunny, it's warm, I'll put them on the grass for a bit. Please don't do that until spring, and it's much, much milder. It's too much of a shock for them. So yeah, those are the things to bear in mind. But checking that your water's not frozen. It's a really big one. And actually, you can get snuggle safes, which are a sort of big plastic thing that you can microwave and keep them, add some extra warmth like that. But please never put a hot water bottle in with small animals. You've got several risks. You've got them chewing it and then, the hot water is leaking out. which causes all sorts of problems, as you can imagine. And as the water bottle cools, it will draw heat away from the animal. So please don't do that either. Small animals actually cope with the cold much better than they do the heat. So as long as they've got bedding, they're dry, they're draft free, they should be all right.
Oh, there we go.
Brilliant, Sav. Well, Hannah, you definitely know your stuff. We definitely know that. Obviously, it's an exciting time for you guys, as you said, how busy you are and everything. What's coming up this year? Have you got any exciting plans?
Well, the two things on our agenda this year are letter. We would love to find somebody who can help with the editing and the kind of production of that. It has been running ever since Maria began, and it's produced every 6 months. So it's a great way of getting our message and stories out. But we'd love some support editing that. That would be a big one. And our fundraising efforts, we would love to sort of improve those, increase those. So if anybody's got any skills that they think might be useful, please just get in touch. We've got an auction coming up in February that you can find out about on our Facebook page. So that's one to look out for. Here, somebody's very excited about
I can hear them here, yeah.
Love it.
Could I just ask, was that a newsletter you were talking about at the start? Because I think you broke up for us a little bit at the start of that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So the newsletter, we would love to have some editing support with, and we would love to have some fundraising support as well. So if anybody's interested or has some skills in those areas, we would love to hear from you.
Fantastic. Really good.
Brilliant.
So much so that we're getting some, I believe it was guinea pig friends piping up already. Was it guinea pigs we heard?
It was guinea pigs.
Yes,
I think they were getting very excited about the idea of an auction.
It's my favourite noise, that guinea pig squeak. I love it.
Well, it's funny you say that. Actually, Steph and Nicola, when they had these hairless guinea pigs, I can't remember what they're called now, but they used to make a lot of noise. And I can remember Steph coming over, just going, "Oh, those flipping guinea pigs are keeping me awake at night at the moment." I just laughed, found it hilarious. Anyway, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today, Hannah. It's been really, really good. All our love to everyone at the Animal Shelter and all the animals. Thank you for coming on. I'm sure we'll see you again soon.
Thank you. See you soon.
Lovely job. Oh, absolutely brilliant.
Oh, yeah, brilliant. I really hope that the adoptions and everything do pick up, and yeah, just check them out on social media and
exactly.
have a look.
Well, if you do want more information on Maria's Animal Shelter, head over to mariasanimalshelter.com or follow their Facebook page for lots of the cutest updates.
Aww.
There we go. Absolutely brilliant.
Great.